Dragon Ball Legends has been popping off with their 1% sparking characters recently. We just got the release of the new Piccolo and Goku tag unit, as well as a Transformer Garlic Jr. unit, who are both very good. We also got characters like the new Evil Boo, who is an absolutely fantastic support character to the team. And we got characters like Rage Shenron with this absolutely annoying paralysis ability. It is so irritating, man, when you get hit by it. I can't move, man! I can't move! With all these good 1% sparking characters we've been getting recently, it's honestly got me thinking about the old days of Dragon Ball Legends. A time where Ultra characters weren't dominating the meta 24/7. In fact, they weren't even a thing. And a time where all these broken LF characters weren't as common as well. A time where sparking characters were the most broken in the game. It's honestly pretty crazy to think about, but it's true. There have been some insanely broken sparking characters back in the day. So for this video, I've compiled a list of some of the craziest sparking characters we have ever had in this game. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Before we get into the main list, we gotta talk about the honorable mentions first. For honorable mentions, I chose two characters. Blue Super Saiyan Bardock and Purple Full Power Bojack. Let's talk about Bardock first. When this Bardock first came out, his stats weren't anything too special. He did decent damage and was able to tank decently as well. And he also was able to get health off of his green card, so that's pretty good. But we aren't going to be focusing on stats for this Bardock, because that's not what made him good. What made this Bardock so broken, and is the reason why he's still being used to this day in 2024, is because of this unique ability right here. The Golden Saiyan. Applies the following effects to allied Tag Super Saiyan when this character switched to standby. 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, 30% to critical rate for 15 timer counts, and here's a kicker right here, 70% to critical damage for 15 timer counts. God damn! So every time you use the Super Saiyan character with this Bardock, he would just make them absolutely broken. Their damage just went through the roof. And this is just still broken to this day, man. I don't understand why Legends would release a unique ability like this. This is honestly so stupid. I think this is probably, if not, one of the most broken abilities in the game. Alright, let's move on to Bojack. This Bojack was one of the most toxic characters to ever fight back in the day. The thing that made this Bojack so broken was the fact that he could cover change against any attack in the game. Yes, any attack. This Bojack would just swoop in with a smug ass face and ruin your entire combo, and there was nothing you can do about it. And if you had a blue card in your hand, you could just do the cover change and chain that in with the blue card and just do massive damage to your opponent. It was just so stupid, bro. And since cover null was like not really even a thing when this Bojack was dominant, he could just cover change whenever he wanted and receive no punishment for it. It's just so stupid. I hope they never ever make a character like this, bro, ever again. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for honorable mentions. Let's get into the main list.
Alright, scum. Bring it!
Alright, the first character we're going to be talking about on the list is Red Transforming Bardock. This Bardock is honestly a pretty unique character compared to everybody else. And the reason why I say this is because this Bardock is the only character to have a locked transformation. It usually takes a normal transforming character up to 15 counts to get their transformation, but it took this Bardock 50. That's kind of a long time. I mean, you could get this transformation sooner if you had a dead ally, but still, 50 counts is a lot. I would honestly say that was probably his biggest flaw back in the day, was the fact that it took way too long to get his transformation, and also the fact that him as a character in his pre-transformation state wasn't the best. But trust me, as soon as you transform with this Bardock, he just became a completely different character. His stats went from to just being alright to completely broken. His defenses, his blast attack, his strike attack, and especially his blue card damage. But this isn't even the craziest part about this Bardock. The craziest part is his main ability after he transforms. Just take a look at this. Draws a special move arts card, restores own vanishing gauge by 100%, inflicts all allies and enemies with no switching for 10 timer counts, and look at this right here. Nullifies own unfavorable element for 30 timer counts. That is a crazy main ability right there. So that meant as soon as this Bardock pressed his main ability, he locked you in with him. That meant Bardock could just completely have his way with you. You couldn't do anything about it.
You need to hang up that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
And you better have prayed to God that this Bardock wasn't the last character alive, because he also gets last man standing buffs as well. It was basically like fighting a final boss. This Bardock just got so much damage and so much defense as well. He was so crazy. But yeah, overall, this Bardock was just a completely broken character for his time, and he easily became one of the best characters when he came out.
Vegeta and Kakarot combined! Call me Vegito!
Alright, the next character we're going to be talking about on this list is Transforming Super Vegito. So nobody's surprised, of course, Vegito makes an appearance. Every Vegito character in this game is broken, so of course he would be here. Just like Bardock, this Vegito is also a transforming unit. The only difference is Vegito's transformation is unlocked and just takes the normal amount of time it would for any transforming character to get their transformation. Pre-transform Vegito was pretty decent. His damage wasn't that bad, he had solid defenses, and he also got health and ki on his green card, which is always a good thing. But I wouldn't say he was anything crazy. This all changed though once he transformed. As soon as he transformed, he was giving a whole new hand of cards, so that meant you could get a combo off right away as soon as he transformed. So that's already pretty good. But I would say the main thing that changed about this Vegito was his green card and his blue card. His green card went from being just a normal charge type green card, where you just press it and you get health and ki, to a range type green card. And we already know how broken range green cards are. And as for his blue card, it went from being a range blue card to a melee type blue card. I would say those two changes right there are what made this Vegito absolutely broken. All you have to do was just use his green card, get a pretty good combo going off, and then end it off with this blue card, which, by the way, did hella damage. And another thing that made this Vegito so broken was his main ability, post-transformation. Once you popped it, you got a blue card, and you also got your Vanish back 100%. But yeah, man, all around just broken character. I mean, to nobody's surprise, Vegito is just always broken in this game.
Time to make the donuts.
Alright, the next character on this list is Sparking Yellow Hit. This unit, man, you guys are not ready for this one. I can 100% say, out of every character on this list, you guys are going to be seeing this hit do the most amount of damage. If you think Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does a lot of damage with this ultimate, hit was doing that amount of damage, but with like one strike card. Now, I know it does sound like I'm glazing, but just take a look at this clip, because my footage is not going to do him justice.
Okay. Win. Yep, that's fair damage. Seems fair and balanced.
Wow, man. Damn.
You guys believe me now, this character was just pure insanity back in the day. Oh my goodness. The reason why this character was able to even do this type of damage in the first place was because of two things. Reason one being, this yellow hit progressively gets more and more damage buffs as the fight goes on. As you can see in his unique ability, the more that time passes throughout the match, the stronger he's getting. And the second reason why he was so broken was because of the amount of crit buffs he was getting during a match. 30% to own critical weight and 20% to critical damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. And you're also getting an additional 10% to damage inflicted and another 10 additional to 10 crit inflicted damage. So you're just getting all these crit buffs, while on top of that, you're also getting more and more stronger as the fight goes on. It's just honestly so ridiculous the amount of damage that this guy did. It was just so unfair back in the day. Another thing that made this hit also so broken was his green card. His green card is literally exactly like Ultra Vegito Blue's green card, where you can counter both strike and both blast attacks. And I believe at the time, there weren't really a lot of red characters that were good, so this hit was just basically left unchecked, and he could just basically have free reign over the meta. Just truly a crazy character, man. I mean, I would say this character had some problems back in the day. One of the main ones was the fact that this guy basically had no team. Like, his only team at the time was Universe 6, and this was the Universe 6 lineup at the time. Just straight ass. So basically this guy's only team was yellow, yellow, blue. Another problem I will also say was his defense. This guy really struggled to take any hits back in the day. He was very squishy. But other than that, still an amazing character.
What's wrong? Is that all you've got?
Alright, the next character we're going to be talking about is this purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. This Vegeta was the last unit to come out during the 2nd anniversary. He also came out along with this red Super Saiyan Blue Goku, both of them being from the Future Saga. That Goku was pretty good as well, but he had nowhere near the same value as this Vegeta unit did. A Vegeta unit being better than a Goku unit? I know, sounds crazy, but it's true, trust me. What made this Vegeta so good back in the day was surprisingly the amount of support he would give to the team. And the funny thing is, this Vegeta isn't even a support type character. He's ranged. Yet he was providing probably the best support in the game at the time. Let's take a look at some of his abilities because it gets crazy. Alright, this ability right here is a really good example of his crazy support. 20% of damage inflicted by allies for 15 counts every time this character uses a strike or blast card. If you're confused by that, what that means is every time this Vegeta used a strike or a blast card, he was giving 20% plus inflicted damage for 15 counts to his whole team. And the reason why this was so broken is because this ability is stackable, meaning for every card you were using, you were adding damage over and over and over again. So say if you use the strike card, that's 20% damage. Say if you use the blast card, that's another 20% right there. That adds up to 40 overall inflicted damage to your team. And then you could basically just keep doing this and keep stacking up damage. This This was so good because remember, this guy came out during 2nd anniversary. And who was the best character during the 2nd anniversary? That's right, LF Vegito Blue. We already know how ridiculous this character was in his prime. And the fact that this Vegeta was just giving this Vegito Blue more and more damage over time, that is just like ridiculous. That is the best thing ever. It was honestly just so ridiculous at the time. Borderline unfair, man.
Vegeta doing the additional damage and then combining it with this Vegito is just ridiculous. This combo is just way too good.
This Vegeta was just honestly so insane, man. And we really only just scratched the surface of his abilities. And this is like literally half of what he can do. He can do so much other things. He gives you death buffs, he can lower your substitution count, so you can get Vegito Blue back into the match to just do insane combos. He also gets rid of 3 of your Dragon Balls when you kill him. I can honestly just talk about this Vegeta alone for like 30 minutes, but we're gonna be here forever if we do. So let's just move on to the next character.
This is my true power!
The final character on our list is going to be Yellow Transforming Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan. Of course, just like Vegito, Gohan always finds a way to make it on these kinds of lists. I swear, man, it's always Vegito and Gohan that are the most broken characters in the game. Doji just loves them, bro. Now, I'm sure all the OG players are absolutely trembling in their boots right now, remembering all the pain and agony this little rat caused back in the day. One of the reasons why this Gohan was so broken was because of the amount of strike damage and the amount of defense this character was getting as the fight went on. As you can see with his unique ability called Resolute Valor, he reduces damage by 50% for 10 timer counts when he enters the battlefield, and this activates twice. And he also gets these buffs right here when he cover changes. 25% to his strike damage for inflicted for 20 counts, and he also reduces an enemy Dragon Ball by 1. Good thing this ability only happens twice, because that would be the most broken thing in the game if you could just continuously take your Dragon Balls every time he switched out. As for a second part of his unique ability, called Desperate Battle, every time an enemy finishes attacking you, you get 50% to strike damage inflicted, which can't be cancelled, and he also reduces damage by 10%, which also cannot be cancelled. And this effect also continues after his transformation. So the Gohan was not only just doing crazy damage, but he was also a pretty good defensive unit as well. And like I said before, every time he switches out, he would take one of your Dragon Balls. So he also had good defense against Rising Rushes as well. Alright, here's where things get crazy. So once this Gohan's first main ability is activated, he transforms to Super Saiyan 2, but he also inflicts the enemy, and I want you to read this closely, no switching for 10 timer counts. So just like Red Bardock, this Gohan also locks you in too. And the fact that you get locked in after he transforms into a stronger version of himself, that is just crazy, man. All of his stats just shot up, his strike, his blast, his blue card, everything, bro. But that's not even the craziest part about this character. This is right here, his second main ability called I'm My Father's Son. You're able to draw a blue card, restores your own ki by 50%, reduce your enemy's ki by 50, but here's the craziest part about this ability. It only requires 5 timer counts for you to get it. This means you'll still be locked in with this Gohan when he gets his second main ability. So what you would often end up seeing is, you trap a character in with this Gohan, you pop his second main ability, you get his blue card, and then he just one-shots your character because it does so much damage. It was just so stupid and unfair. You literally couldn't even do anything. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. This guy also had an AoE green card. Need I say more? I'm praying to God that this character never gets a Zenkai, because it is going to be terrible for everybody. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I already know there are a bunch of other characters that I just didn't even mention in this video. So whatever characters you believe should have been on this list, go down to the comments and let me know, because I like to look at comments and interact with you guys. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I upload a new video or if I go live. Other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.